When the word got out that a girl in Australia had defeated her terminal brain cancer without treatment and just made a simple whole food diet, millions were hooked on every move Annabelle Natalie Gibson made. From avidly following her blog to religiously buying her recipe book and even downloading her app, The Whole Pantry, you won't believe the attention and prayers that swirled around Belle Gibson's non-existent cancer journey, until a reporter dug deep to expose her web of lies. Now, she's stuck with the label of the scammer influencer who lied about having cancer to steal $300,000. But the worst part about this story is the utter negligence of book publishers and app review teams who let her roll on, all because her story promised them millions of dollars.
There's an award-winning app and a cookbook. Belle Gibson has made it. Except it's all a lie, a great big lie. She doesn't have cancer, never did.
You can't make this stuff up. March 2015, that's when the whole world got wind of Belle Gibson's fraudulent activities. Her made-up saga of beating cancer has found its way back to the news ever since Netflix made the announcement of the limited series based on her real-life incidents. Netflix claims its series, Apple Cider Vinegar, to be a true-ish story based on a lie. Since the shooting hasn't started yet, it is expected to be released not before mid-2024. I can't wait for this train wreck of a series to air. Alright, coming back to Belle Gibson and her cancer con. At 32 years old, Belle's previous claims of curing brain cancer with her diet have crumbled like a house of cards. Turns out, she was never even hit by the illness in the first place. With amassing over 300,000 followers, Belle Gibson emerged as one of the highly successful wellness bloggers. As Annabelle's follower count surged, so did the avenues she discovered to rake in big bucks from social media. While claiming to be a 26-year-old, Bella was actually 23 years old when she faked having brain cancer along with battling spleen, uterus, blood, and liver cancer. To her followers, she had asserted that, well, her cancer was fatal. In an attempt to save her image after getting exposed, she gave an interview to Australia's 60 Minutes program.
Belle, are you prepared to tell the truth today? The whole truth? No little
Absolutely.
half truths, no gobbledygook. The truth.
No, I've been really transparent.
Where the interviewer, Tara Brown, inquired about her real age. According to her birth records, Belle was 23 years old, but she said that she had always been raised as 3 years older than her real age. She had 2 birth certificates and had changed her name 4 different times.
You're 23, right? Well, actually, how old are you?
I've always been raised as being currently a 26-year-old.
The host responded, "This is a really simple question. How old are you?" To which Gibson answered, "That's probably a question we'll have to keep digging for." Another thing that worked in favor of Belle spinning the web of lies was her being a young mother and knowing the wellness industry a little too well. Belle had her son when she was just 18 years old. Belle's documentation of her quote-unquote miraculous recovery on Instagram propelled her to global stardom. She made some pretty serious statements that she had effectively managed her cancer by rejecting traditional medical treatments and embracing a wellness diet. Her diet included avocados, berries, and other foods believed to keep our overall health well. Belle Gibson scripted her story like a tragic movie. Main character diagnosed with terminal cancer, enduring months of grueling treatments, abandoning conventional treatment due to frustration, and opting for a healthy lifestyle that miraculously treats her cancer, propelling her to global fame. Well, this is not a made-up movie plot, but the story of Belle Gibson used to scam people for their money. In 2013, Belle took things a bit further by releasing The Whole Pantry, a health, wellness, and lifestyle app. The application was quick to amass over 300,000 downloads on the App Store, bringing Belle Gibson money in millions. Following this success, she went on to publish a book by the same name. In the beginning, not many were able to speculate what was going on in reality, but when Belle announced her condition was getting worse, people began to question her as her appearance looked the same and showed no signs of sickness cancer patients go through. Her tip-top healthy persona contradicted the typical image of someone battling a terminal illness. Annabelle Gibson held Gardasil cervical cancer vaccine responsible for the cause of her cancer. Inconsistencies started to surface in her statements, and they quickly caught up on these shady signs. In 2014, according to her book preface, she had no cancer growth for 2 years, but then she posted on her Facebook page that the cancer was spreading in her blood, uterus, and spleen. Then 3 months later, she told the media that it was spreading in her liver and kidneys. Annabelle had also previously claimed to have undergone multiple heart surgeries and to have briefly passed away on the operating table. If these many complications weren't enough, she added a stroke to her long list of pseudo-diseases too. What she failed at was providing the evidence for her medical claims. No doctor name, no diagnosis, no treatment, no surgical scars. After all, people were right to have their doubts with her. In our eyes, Belle Gibson's bigger crime was misguiding the people who were actually suffering from terminal illness. Blogging your fake cancer story for views and money is one thing, but advising and endorsing fake harmful practices is an entirely different genre of crime. In a now deleted Instagram account, she had promoted many hazardous alternative medical methods. Imagine the confidence to promote an anti-vaccination stance, Gerson therapy, and the benefits of unpasteurized raw milk. Like, some of these practices are illegal in many countries. The BBC documentary shared stories of two of her victims. Before encountering Gibson, Maxine Ali had been using steroids to manage her chronic illness. Talking about the influence Belle had on her, she said, "This was the answer to everything I had been looking for." Another of Annabelle's fans was Pixie Turner, who went against her doctor's advice to treat her condition with Belle's diet.
And this wellness community that was very focused on taking charge of your own health, it was very empowering. And on top of that, it was very visually appealing.
So, how did Belle get caught? Her involvement in philanthropic endeavors is what brought her pseudoscience advocacy to light. Suspicions rose when she did not oblige to the pledge she made of donating $300,000 to a charity. Richard Gilliatt, the reporter whose wife was battling cancer, decided to do some research on Belle Gibson's journey. To his surprise, there was no trace of her existence before 2012. It wasn't hard for him to uncover the shocking truth about Gibson. As the truth started to prevail, many reports emerged about Belle's unfulfilled charity and donation promises. The organizations she claimed to donate to confirmed that they had not received any funds. Belle shamelessly steered these claims towards poor projections for her app and book. But the cracks were starting to show, as Gilliatt's findings extended back several years. In March 2015, Belle raised funds for a young cancer patient with whom she had bonded, but the family never received any financial assistance from her. Annabelle Gibson eventually had no choice but to confess to exaggerating the amount of charitable donations in her fraud proceedings. The media reports revealed in 2015 had only donated an estimated amount of $7,000 to 3 charities from the $300,000 claim she made. You won't believe, but $1,000 from $7,000 was donated after the Fairfax investigation had started for her previous claims. To add further to your surprise, another $1,000 from the $7,000 was donated under her boyfriend's name, Clive Rothwell. Coming to the publishers of books and magazines who failed terribly to fact-check Belle's claims, initially Lantern Books didn't care to verify the truth of Gibson's cancer claims, since it had nothing to do with a cookbook. As the controversy escalated, Penguin Publishing Group withdrew her book from sale, giving the reason that Belle didn't respond to their inquiries about the media allegations. Fairfax revealed that Belle was questioned and filmed by Penguin about her cancer story, as it was mentioned in the book's preface, but Penguin agreed to pay a penalty of $30,000 to the Victorian Consumer Law Fund for its failure to authenticate the book's content. In 2015, Belle gave interviews to some magazines where she admitted to her scam and even tried to link this with the parental neglect she faced growing up. Belle Gibson was penalized $410,000 in September 2017 for falsely claiming donations to charity. A court trial, potential jail time, and 6 years later, Belle Gibson still hasn't paid her fine. She wrote a letter to the federal court in 2017 revealing her $170,000 debt. She claimed to only have $5,000. The sheriffs raided her home in 2020 to seize items and recover some fine amount that had escalated $500,000 by 2020. Since then, Belle Gibson has stayed out of the public eye. Do you think the Belle Gibson case will have a lasting impact on how people trust influencers in the future? Comment down your thoughts below. Subscribe to stay updated on our next release. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. See you next time.